What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and a happy Sacred Sunday to you. I am your host, Love Coach Scott Katamas. Welcome to our Sacred Sunday edition of the Awakening World. You know, awakening is happening, and within that, there is this experience of ascension. And you've heard us talking a lot about ascension, and you're going to hear a lot more about it as we continue, because there really is this incredible movement of evolution. The planet is evolving. We hear that the entire universe is evolving. And certainly what's probably most important for each of us as human individuals is that we are evolving. And today you're going to have a chance to hear from several of the really amazing experts on ascension. We've got Debra Giusti, who literally wrote the book on ascension. We've got Suzanne Ross, who every year puts together the Ascension Retreat conference here in Sedona. We're going to hear from JJ and Desiree Hurtak. JJ wrote the book, The Keys of Enoch, over 50 years ago, which is like one of the great mystical scholarly masterpieces of understanding. We're going to hear from Tanjila and several other people. Alan Steinfeld is going to be with us. It's going to be a very, very powerful show. Now, I want to welcome, I see a lot of our favorite friends that are here in the Zoom room. Let us know where you are geographically. Already, we've got people from Ecuador and British Columbia, California, everybody coming on in. I also want to welcome those of you that are watching on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel or our YouTube channel, our new broadcast partner, the Conscious Awakening Network. But most of you are watching on Facebook. A big thanks to John and Summer Raymer, who put us out over the Sign Network, S-I-N-E. We got to as many as 100 Zoom room. Come on in. Come join the Global Peace Tribe. We do 3 or 4 shows every week. We have amazing people, and it's easy to join us. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. And then what you can do is, when you get there, you'll learn all about us and click where it says register for the new season. And when you do that, it'll take you to the registration page. And as I said, we do 3 or 4 shows every week on Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday mornings, with amazing human beings, great co-hosts. Last night, for example, we had a show all about enlightened partnerships, 5 different couples that all work together while managing their marriage, their children, how to be creative together. And it was really, really fun. We even had Pato Bantan, who had just done a concert for 30,000 people in Brazil, finished his concert and came right on to be with us. So it's really a lot of fun. And there's, of course, the show that you're about to see today. So come join the Global Peace Tribe. You'll also get the recordings and replays of all of our previous shows. Do you know we've done 500 shows since the pandemic began, when Debra Giusti and I began the Global Peace Tribe. So come and join us. Now, because it is the Sacred Sunday show, we're going to start with a meditation. And one of my absolute favorite co-hosts and partners in creation, Tanjila, is with us. And welcome, Tanjila.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. So excited to be here with all of you this morning.
How did your psychic fair go yesterday?
It was amazing. It was amazing. Debra was actually there with us the whole day, and it was incredible. We had such a great turnout, and Debra, welcome. Debra can also share her experience there, but we just had such a great turnout, and it was amazing talking about Ascension, because Debra was actually sharing her Ascension tips. She gave a talk about Ascension. We were also talking about Suzanne's Sedona Ascension Retreat. And one of the things Debra commented to me, she was like, there's a lot of people here, who haven't really heard about Ascension, who are new to all of this. And it was really exciting for us.
And it shows me how people are opening up just all over in every facet of life.
Wow. Well, that's why Debra wrote the book. That's why Suzanne puts on the retreat. But before we get into all that, I would love for you, Tanjila, to start us off with a lovely dropping in meditation, and then we'll go straight to Omashar with some music, and then we're going to learn all about Ascension and the retreat.
Great. Well, so just if everyone could close their eyes and just relax. Relax into your body. Feel the ground underneath you. Feel Mother Gaia, her arms comforting you, holding you, and just relax into your spiritual heart and feel at peace. As you relax into your spiritual heart, feel your energy relaxing and going in through the layers of Mother Earth and connecting with the brilliant, bright light core of Gaia. And as you feel her energy, as you connect with her, you feel her strength, her ancient power, her wisdom. You feel her unconditional love. You feel the depth of the peace and strength that she brings to us in every moment. As you breathe in the strength and power, this ancient wisdom, you feel her energy flowing up through your body, lighting up every chakra, lighting up your root chakra, burning brighter, feeling the strength and power of who you are, lighting up your creativity so you can create with the groundedness and strength and wisdom of Gaia, lighting up your solar plexus, your will and ability to manifest your creations into this world, lighting up your throat chakra, lighting up your power to speak truth with integrity, lighting up your third eye so you can see all and feel all from the wholeness of who you truly are, and lighting up your crown chakra, that connection to who you truly are and all you ever will be. and feeling that energy flowing up, 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 lighting up your higher chakras through the galaxy, through the universe, through the core of the cosmos, your central sun, connecting to the essence of who we are as beings of bright, brilliant, golden light, fractals of the one universal source, reconnecting to the cosmic unity of who we are. And as we fill our bodies and souls and beings with the brilliant, bright light of this cosmic power of who we are, in the depths of our souls, in the depths of our beings, we feel the reverberations of this brilliant, bright cosmic light of our being, reverberating through us, reverberating this light brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Our souls, our brilliant, bright souls, filling up the room that we are in, the cities that we're in, the country, the planet, the world. We feel the brilliant, bright light of who we are connecting each one of us, heart to heart, soul to soul, in a brilliant grid across the entire planet. And we feel this grid growing wider and wider and wider as we bring this Christ conscious unity into and throughout the planet and into and throughout the universe. Together, we are bringing forth the ascension across the planet, across the galaxy, across the universe. We are bringing forth the cosmic Christ consciousness. Feel the reverberations of the energies of each of our souls connected, heart to heart, soul to soul, reverberating the brilliant, bright light across the universe, bringing our unconditional love, our unconditional forgiveness, our hope, harmony, beauty, joy, bliss across the planet. And as we do this together, as we raise the vibration and the frequency of the planet together, we hold in our hearts in this moment and in every moment, every one of our human, plant, mineral, animal brothers and sisters. Together we rise. And we bring the energies of ascension that we are here vibrating together to all of our brothers and sisters around the world. In Turkey, Syria, Ukraine, Russia, mental hospitals, the prisons, the homeless encampments, to all of the places where we feel the emotions and the energies of despair, hopelessness, anger, fear. To each of these places, we bring our unconditional love, our unconditional light, our knowingness that we are here to create this new earth together. And we bring every one of these brilliant, beautiful souls, our beautiful light, our hope, our comfort, our ease, our joy, our bliss. And we feel the vibration. And they may not know what is happening around them, but they feel a shift too. They feel a glimmer of hope. They feel a glimmer of joy. They know that things are shifting and getting better. And we hold this energy of love, of hope, of joy, of bliss, of faith in our knowingness, knowing that it is our purpose here in this moment to reverberate in the complete bliss of who we are as glorious souls. And in this remembrance we help all others in their remembrance. And together, we create this new earth, rising together in this ascension. We reverberate our joy, we reverberate our cosmic glory, our bliss, our love across the universe. Breathing in who we are as cosmic beings of light, breathing out our connection to each and every cosmic being across this universe, across the multiverse. We feel the immense power and connection of who we are together as one, and feeling the unity of one, we feel us rise. Thank you.
This tale I tell, it has no ending. I'd like you to know we are all on an incredible journey, a traveling show. I've been looking at you in your homeland, watching you grow, weaving light into creation, a heavenly glow. I have been inside you for so long, I will be with you forever. Come with me, let's spiral through the stars. Part of you has always remembered since the beginning of time. Through your hearts you felt my presence, a knowing sublime. I've been guiding you beyond your perception, forever your friend. Take some time and get to know me. I'll welcome you home. I'll welcome you home. I have been inside you for so long, I will be with you forever. Come with me, let's spiral through the stars. We have been inside you for so long, we will be with you forever. We'll come with you and spiral through the stars.
Mhm. Beautiful. Going to gallery view. Let's all give some twinkles to beloved brother Omashar.
You're so welcome. And it's funny because during the song, Tanjila, with that amazing opening, expansive meditation, and she kept on coming onto the screen, and in my mind I was singing the song, and I wanted to say, Tanjila, you look so beautiful, you're radiant and beautiful, and I zipped my mouth because that would have become part of the lyric. But anyway, I'm just fessing up.
Thank you both. What a beautiful start to the show with your music and that beautiful meditation. And Tanjila, I really appreciated how you brought us together and then taking our light and our love and spreading it out to the world and to the people that are struggling. And, you know, we are so blessed to have each other. We're so blessed to look at the craziness in the world, but to see it from the context of the bigger picture of the ascension that is taking place. And so I just so appreciated you coming in and doing that for us. When I see Tanjila, I think of Mary Magdalene. She looks like Mary Magdalene would have looked or did look, right? So, you know, thank you for bringing through that incredible divine feminine with so much love. And then the divine masculine in such a beautiful way, Omashar. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you, everyone. And just, this is such an amazing and beautiful topic that we're all here to share, and that, you know, Suzanne and Debra and Hurtak, everyone, you know, so much energy bringing forth, and just for all of us to connect in this way to everyone, really just helps us to bring these energies. We're so blessed to all share and create together, and just to bring this out into the world in such a powerful way. I just love feeling that connection that we all create and bring out into the planet together and across the universe. So thank you all.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole point of the Global Peace Tribe. We're here to help us wake up, and everybody's playing their role. You're doing it through Soul Search, Omashar through his music. And I'm going to put the spotlight on Debra, focusing on her, because she literally wrote the book on Ascension. So Debra, get us started. What is going on with all this Ascension awareness?
Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge too what just happened with the beautiful gifts with Tanjila and Omashar, and everyone here and everyone listening, because part of the Ascension, it's all us coming forward with our gifts and collaborating together on them. So this is a demonstration of the Ascension. And it's beautiful to be here on a sacred Sunday, because that's when we can really kind of, mostly we pause and we drop in and we connect with spirit. And so that's what this show is going to be about. And we're here to celebrate, because these are amazing times. These are accelerated times. These are the times that we came for. And of course, we see the chaos, the destruction, the mind-blowing revealing of dysfunctional truths in our society, as all our dirty laundry of our society gets aired out in the media. But we have to realize that we are in the ascension process personally and planetarily. So it's very similar. And so it's like a healing crisis that we're going through. So our planet is definitely going through a healing crisis, and we're in the purification stage. And so that's where all the toxins get dislodged, and they come up to be shown, to be healed, to be revealed, and to be dealt with. So that's really the stage that we're going in now with our planet and with ourselves. And this has all been escalating since it started. Like the 60s was a great explosion of consciousness towards what we're happening now, which is the accelerated ascension process, the graduation to new forms of being and living on the higher dimensions. And when the pandemic happened, Scott and I got very called to create Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. We did that together with 90 shows. And that was another example of collecting everyone around the world to really understand we're in the birth canal. This is not everything. This is not only destruction happening here. This is part of the process of us going through what we need to go through to heal, to evolve, to clear the negativity so we can all rise to the next level that we're all going to, again, in our planet and with ourselves. So I claim this is a really special, magical time, and that doesn't deny all the challenges. that we have going on in the world. And of course, we're all there for each other, for other people that are going through hard times, for our homeless community, for the other countries around the world that are going through war and all of that. This is a time where all this is supposed to come up so we can deal with it. We can put in place new systems and new earth consciousness so these kind of things don't happen in our world anymore and aren't going to be part of our world. But this is a time that we've all come here because there's so much potential for accelerated evolution for us. So that's why there's so many people on the planet now. This is the hot ticket to be incarnated in now. A lot of my ascension teachers say, if you got a ticket to be incarnated now on this planet, you lucked out, because there's so many people wanting to get in, so many souls wanting to get here, because this is where it's happening now. This is where the activation of the ascension is happening now. So, and it's where we all come together. It's like shows like this or gatherings that we're going to talk about, like what Tanjila did yesterday and Suzanne's amazing Ascension Retreat. It's when souls come together and we recognize each other, that it can be very empowering. So, but I'm going to start by defining ascension so we're all on the same page of what we're talking about, because we have coined the word ascension because it seems to be one of the best words. But sometimes when you say that, you think of the Christian modality of flying out of your body, you know, into the clouds. This, what we're talking about, what's happening right here, which is an amazing, unique time on the planet that hasn't happened before and is part of the transition of the evolution into the new age, the golden age, the second coming of Christ, the warriors of the rainbow prophecy, all of that is an embodied ascension. So we're talking about having the evolution happening right here and now in your being. So ascension is the accelerated spiritual process that's taking place within all planetary life forms. So it's not just humanity, it's every single living being and this whole sector of the universe. Everything evolves forward together. That's why everyone works together, including the galactics, the ascended masters. They're all here to help what's going on with the planet now. And it's a step-by-step process which you go through a series of healing and up-leveling that where you clear dense trauma, you clear ancestral patterning, you start to activate the light body, and you start to elevate into a new level of consciousness and start to operate at a next level of consciousness. Some people are calling this fifth dimensional consciousness. So these are all labels, but it's a state of being that other spiritual traditions have called unity consciousness, oneness. We've all heard it, but this is really where we're going, as a whole nother level of consciousness and being. And it creates deep soul embodiment, and it's manifesting in a state of oneness. And so this is what we're doing personally, because it's about us individually evolving our ascension. And then as a planet, we are having a planetary ascension, because more than ever, this is a time, instead of individual ascension, which has happened before, which we know from the ascended masters, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Saint Germain, all the ascended masters that we know, they've made their ascension. This is happening where people on the planet have this opportunity together as a human collective to make their ascension. So that's what's currently happening. And that's why it's such an amazing time to be on the planet. And as you've seen in the last couple of years, there's so much opportunity for this. Like, you can connect with a spiritual teacher on your phone, right? So all you have to do is get on your phone, you know, and dial in some of the websites and some of the online programs and all of that. And you have teachings that in the past, you'd have to go to years in mystery schools. But now this is a time where the teachings are coming out, and those who feel called to be on this ascension planet path and go with the earth can do it. And there's also the choice not to do it. If you want to cycle back into a 3D reality and continue on that and grow slower, that option is also available to you. And we can also see it really clearly in the world, because certain topics that are so important for the ascension, like healing your trauma, healing your core wounding, healing your limited beliefs. All this is becoming mainstream. Like healing of trauma is really a big deal throughout the world and throughout mainstream America. They recognize how trauma is so negatively affects a person's life. And so it's the healing of that trauma that's going to help us evolve and be able to sustain in the higher frequencies, because we're talking about raising your frequencies so you can sustain at a higher level. And that's where you can open up to consciousness and open up to higher functioning and open up to your guides and the masters and a whole nother level of magical being where you can manifest and you have superpowers and all of that. So it's a healing and it's a raising up of the vibration. And I want to make a really important distinction, which I don't think I've talked about on this show, is we're talking about the organic ascension timeline. And so that means where we individually use all our systems, all our light body, all our ability to raise up and ascend within this system. So there's a thing happening now, which is called transhumanism. And there is a whole transhumanism agenda with AI. So I just want to bring this up because this is a really slippery slope and something we have to use a lot of discrimination on. There is a lot of new technology that is high-level technology that's here for the organic ascension. And we know this from what the higher galactics are giving us in terms of technology, or other very high beings like Tesla, who channeled in the ability for free energy, also scalar wave energy that's very healing, all kinds of things. So there is a way to use technology in the new earth that we're going to be creating that aligns with the organic ascension and allows us to have a freer life, a more abundant life, a creative life. And then there's the level of the AI coming in and having a whole other agenda. And that's a whole other topic. And I'm sure you're hearing about it all over. And it's becoming very prevalent in our society. But just be really clear that don't succumb to that agenda that wants to implant the ability to have superpowers in your being by putting whatever in your brain or other things that have been in your body or other things. It's just really clear that we have everything within us to become those superpower beings. And that's what the ascension is about. So please look at that very distinctly. And that could be a whole other show because there's so much information coming out on that again. But what I want to acknowledge, especially on this show, because this show is about that, is it's time to unify. And that is why going to gatherings like Sedona Ascension Retreat is so important. Because when we unify, we build a field of knowing, of consciousness, and access to knowing. And part of what we're doing in the Ascension is a form of remembering. Because it's not like we don't know this already. A lot of us have been around the block, of life on multiple planets, on this life multiple times, at times when we were actually at a higher level of functioning, more towards fifth dimensional consciousness as a species, like, for example, during Lemuria and times like that. So we know this, but when we come together and we share information and we unify, there's a massive escalation of our total ascension because all of us remember and support each other, and we spread love, which is one of the bottom lines of the ascension, is being in love. So that's why I participate in so many conferences and festivals. I myself created the Harmony Festival, which went for 33 years, and little did I know about Ascension like I know now, because things continue to get revealed, and we'll know so much more 10 years from now. But it's all about the same thing. It's all about coming together and sharing that love and sharing your gifts and sharing everything together. So I just want to acknowledge all the producers like Tanjila and Suzanne Ross who are here and doing what it takes to create these amazing gatherings for you and all the people that are doing online gatherings, because it's when we gather and connect and remember and share our hearts that there's a lot of escalation. So what I felt called to do, because I feel very called to assist with the ascension, I'm sort of seeing the bigger picture. I work with a lot of the ascension teachers, and I see the similarity of what they're all sharing and what's true for everyone. So as I've shared on here before, I created a book called Ascension Tips. And it's a simple book because things have to be simple now for you to just kind of, oh, I got it. And it explains the ascension process that we're going through now. And you can download it for free at ascensionnow.org. And it's 88 tips. So you can just go through, read it simply and go, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, that's what I've done. Oh yeah, this is what's next. Oh, this is what's happening in the new earth. It's in 4 different sections. The first one being the awakening, which a lot of you are in, or you wouldn't be listening to this program. And that's where you wake up and you realize beyond the human suit and the programs that we have, there's so much more to your being. And you start to evolve from that and become more conscious of yourself as a light being and a multidimensional being. The second one is the complete transmutation, where you go through the alchemical process of transforming yourself and your life to a whole nother level. And these are explained in the tips. The third one being soul embodiment, where you really start to really be that ascended being in consciousness, and you start to live more at a love frequency, at a oneness frequency, and your life starts to become more magical as you're more of a master of your creation. Synchronicities come into your life totally magically, and so much happens in your world on a whole nother level. And the last one is the divine human in the new earth. And that is really what we're here to do, is to create the new earth together, to build a new earth. And what we're all doing here, and especially on the Awakening World and all of you out there, is, you know, taking your piece to really create this new earth that operates at a much higher frequency. And I thought I'd just kind of go into some of the tips of that. I do have a program that I'm in process of sharing that I'll share with you too. It's called Ascension Revealed. And it goes very deeply into the ascension tips. It's with my teacher, Meg Benedicte, who's amazing. She's one of the top teachers. And she assisted me in creating the ascension tips, just so that I knew I was straight on with all that I was sharing. And we've started a program called Ascension Revealed, and it goes really deeply into the ascension tips. And the first program is free. And we just did it recently. So if you sign up now, you just get the first program for free. And then there's 2 more programs which you can be on live or just watch on replay. And it goes really deeply into the ascension tips. So that's what I can share with you. It's at ascensionrevealed.com, ascensionrevealed.com. But I'll speak a little bit about New Earth consciousness, because this is really interesting and exciting to me. And it'll give you an understanding of what we're talking about when we say create the new earth. And it's not like the new earth isn't already there. The new earth is there. It's us opening our consciousness, our awareness, and our being, and as a collective beginning to operate in those levels and those principles and those frequencies. So that's what's going to be happening beginning now into the future, with going through the birth canal, which is going to still have some rocking and rolling there as things dissolve that are not of the new earth and things get birthed that are of the new earth. So just a few points of the new earth that I want to share, because I haven't been able to share this on the show so much anymore, is we are going to operate most all the time in the 5th dimensional consciousness. So we're how would it be if all of us were living in an awakened state? All of us lived from the frequency of love in Christ consciousness, and we knew all as one. And everything that we created, all our society was based on understanding this, and we all related to each other on that level, as compared to what we see in the news these days. Wouldn't that be amazing? I mean, that's what we all we call for in our hearts, and that's what we're looking to create. And also, you will have your memories from your past life, your future life, alternative lives. It won't be this amnesia that we have now, because you will be more empowered to utilize all that information in a very powerful way in your life. Whereas now, if we had all that information, it would overwhelm us. So we're limited in this current life reality. And from what I understand, we're going to be able to instantly manifest, like, which we're starting to be able to do now as we learn to set intentions, and then things just show up. Or you've recognized that you've already created this in other planes with soul contracts, and you just open the doors, and there they are, the connections, what you need, the funding, the relationship, whatever it is that you bring forward. And we're also going to be able to communicate telepathically. So that means everything's exposed, and people that don't operate from integrity, that won't be able to happen anymore, because everything's going to be able to be on the table, like a lot of us try to do now. This is part of why we're learning, like what Scott teaches in his relationship teachings, how to connect with people in a really honest, authentic, clear way. So that's what we're all working towards. And we're also going to be operating in time in a whole nother way. Now we think it's this linear thing, although we hear that time is not linear, that everything exists simultaneously. So we're going to be able to understand and work with that, and work with time in a whole nother way. And money is not going to be like it is now, where certain people kind of hoard billions of dollars and they have certain power around that. Your worth is going to be what you contribute, and the beauty you contribute, and the benefits you contribute. And it's going to be at a whole different level, because our survival will be taken care of. So we won't need to have to be in survival. We're going to be in a renaissance where we're going to be able to be very creative and create on so many levels. Kind of like the Renaissance was here, where art and creativity and music and just building all kinds of structures and all kinds of new technologies, all of that is going to be what is going to be happening. And the other really important thing that's going to be amazing is our civilization is going to be able to join the galactic community and be in council there. Whereas now our world thinks like we're the only things, we're the highest form of the universe, you know, the humans are, which is a bit silly, although that's changing now in so many ways. And of course, a lot of us know that there are so many higher galactic beings that are here helping us, that are our older brothers and sisters. And so we're actually going to be able to consciously be on the councils. As above, so below. There's a whole galactic federation that helps to operate and take care of what's going on out there. That's a whole other subject. So we'll be able to consciously be a part of that. And bottom line, love, compassion, peace, and harmony are going to reign supreme. That's just going to be how our world does, and that's going to how we operate. And we can sense that when we are with spiritual teachers that are like that, and you know, you can see what that's like to be in a state of love and compassion all the time. You know, the Dalai Lama. There's other people in the world that are, you know, getting real close to sustaining that, you know, quantum consciousness there. So that's a little snippet of that. You can download my ascensionnow.org. Ascensionnow.org is where you can get the ascension tips, and that will give you the whole overview. And ascensionnow.org. And this is an evolving process. This is just like a capture of what we need to know right now. So this is going to continue to evolve, and I'll give you more and more information, because I'm the one that's kind of out there in the front looking at the overview and going, hey guys, this is what's happening. So that's what I've always done. That's my mission. And appreciate you all. Appreciate you, Scott.
Deborah, thank you so much. I'm going to bring on some of our other participants for a moment, because what you shared was so powerful. And thank you for just laying out this beautiful vision for the future. And so I'm bringing on Suzanne and Tanjila and JJ and Desiree and Alan Steinfeld. And we're gonna go to JJ and Desiree in a moment, but just I'd love to get everybody's response to this beautiful vision that Debra just laid out. Like, as you hear her vision of what's happening, how does it land for all of you?
I want to say it's nice to have a map of where we're going, because we've reached the end of this path in the old day, and now we have a guide to the future.
Beautiful. That's a good way of putting it, Alan. Tanjila, Suzanne, what do you want to add?
Well, I mean, I just love the fact that Debra is like bringing this forth and really recognizing how this is a community. It's both an individual and a community, cosmic community experience for all of us, and that we're doing this together. And to have, of course, it's different for everyone, but to have talking points or a guide that wherever you are on your journey, if you have just heard about Ascension, or if you've been on this path for 30 or 40 years, that you come together and really start connecting in community and in conversation.
Yeah, beautiful. And all the people that you just saw are going to be part of this Sedona Ascension Retreat. It's one of the main reasons why I'm in Sedona for the month. And Suzanne has been doing this for quite a while, and she has got an amazing lineup of people who are really the leaders at the forefront of Ascension. And a lot of them are pretty famous. You've seen Matt Kahn and Billy Carson and Alan on the show. But there are also going to be people that maybe you haven't seen before that are really quite wonderful. I was reminded when I saw Maureen St. Germain a couple of weeks ago at the Conscious Life Expo of what a brilliant speaker she is. So this is a very, very exciting retreat. You can still come on, and we're going to talk to the creator of it a little bit later on the show. But I want to, one more time, I'm going to bring on Debra, and just thank you, Debra, for your wisdom, for being so generous with putting the Ascension tips out there free of charge. And again, everybody, get that. And then also check out her more extensive opportunity to really go deeper in learning about this material. Thank you so much.
I also want to acknowledge the Sedona Ascension Retreat, because again, coming to a gathering like that is really where you can totally up-level yourself in one weekend, because you are in that community, you're around all the Ascension teachers. So if you want a huge boost, that is where you go, something like that. I'll be doing a panel on Ascension, which is what I love to do. And my panel is going to have Matt Kahn and Suzanne Ross, Kimberly Meredith, Maureen St. Germain, an incredible Ascension teacher, and Vivian Chavez, who's an Arcturian hybrid. So it's going to be an incredible panel. And the whole weekend, Suzanne will share with you all that she has planned. It's really amazing what she's done this year. So I invite you to come join us.
Beautiful. Debra, thank you so much. Always wonderful to be sharing the show with you once again. And thank you for just speaking so beautifully. Well, we talk about how this has been going on for a while. I am so honored to have JJ and Desiree Hurtak with us. They're actually just a stone's throw away from me here in Sedona, pretty close by. But for anybody who doesn't know these incredible couple, they fuse together an understanding of science and a scholarly approach, but also understanding the true mystical traditions and origins of this awakening, of this ascension. They're going to be featured at the Sedona Ascension Retreat. They are brilliant teachers. They travel all over the world, and they probably have as much collective knowledge as anybody about what's going on from a historical point of view, even from an anthropological point of view. It's remarkable, their breadth of wisdom. So JJ and Desiree, thank you for taking time. I know you're leading a workshop today, so thank you for taking time to come and be on our show.
Great. Well, it's fabulous. I love what Debra said. We know her book and it's incredible. We encourage everyone to get that. And also want to encourage everyone to get to the Sedona Ascension Retreat that Suzanne's putting together. So thanks for doing that. Let's bring Alan on because oftentimes we all kind of talk together. And, he knows a lot of how we kind of present on things because Dr. Hurtak had his own unique ascension experience in the 1970s, which came together and introduced a book called The Keys of Enoch. This is one of the other additions to it. So that's probably what we're going to talk about. Alan.
Just want to say I travel with the Hurtaks. I live with them sometimes. And that show you did last night about sacred relationships, these guys are innocent. You know what makes it sacred? That the relationship is not about the relationship. It's about work together in the world. And I'm honored to be a part of their group because JJ really did take his body with him to the unseen realms. And that for me is the bottom line ascension. So.
Well, JJ, are you willing to tell us the story?
I'll show it in pictures because it's very important to visualize. This is from our new book called The 76 Names of the Cosmic Christ, an illustrated understanding of the different levels of Christ consciousness. Debra touched upon the problems that we're facing, in many ways, a dialectic between those who want to go the way of AI, artificial intelligence, and those who want to go the way of the I am, self-realization. And this picture or cosmogram, cosmic picture, shows the multiple levels with the dove predominating in the age of the Holy Spirit. We call it the age of miracles, the age of the light body, but it's the realization that this is not just a buzzword of going into ascension from one level to another. We're going into a massive change. We're going beyond the timelines and the different variations of life that have kept us in opposition. And we're trying to emphasize the importance of higher love, higher compassion, and higher unity. And this is being echoed by all of you who are gathered. This is a fantastic time to be alive. And so we are bringing out the pictures of the ascension process in our new books. Why? Because the mind is going to be confounded by so much AI and so much of the other, shall we say, life forms that the mind will be, shall we say, put into many uncertainties. And this is why it's so important to be on a life track of ascension that is pure, honest, and compassionate in all directions.
And I have to say, and also devoted to helping humanity, because if you really look at what the other realms are about, and I'm talking about the higher Christ consciousness realms, these realms are of love and compassion. And in a certain sense, we've been placed in this dualistic reality to be able to learn and grow and make the right choices. And I always say, every moment is a moment of choice. And when we can make those right choices, then we can connect with higher divine realms of thinking. Because right now, our thoughts, as Scott knows from some of his programs, you're always trying to struggle to have people being able to share together, even within our own home.
And this is exemplified, if I may just carry on, by one of our pictures on the resurrection and the ascension process, because they go together. We're being taken out of the three-dimensional body into the fifth dimensional body, of having the gifts of remote viewing, remote sensing, healing powers. Unbelievable gifts are being given to us with the ancients in the Middle East called the age or the gifts of the divine or Holy Spirit. And as we begin to think in technicolors we see here using sacred geometry and music, something else takes place. We begin to realize that we are here as part of a higher teaching process to reach those that normally are not reached because of the black and white reality.
Right. And this is happening because the vibratory field of the earth is increasing. This is why Debra's so obsessed with it, because she feels the acceleration within the embodiment. This is why we're getting closer to the ETs. This is why more people are turning towards spiritual understanding, because it is a planetary shift, and these earth bodies are shifting in that concert. So Suzanne Ross has done a brilliant thing by bringing all these people together that are talking about this acceleration, not just in a lecture, but in actual activations of the body, of the light body. And that's what's going to happen in Sedona on March 17th to the 19th, is that we are going to actually start to feel that ascension wave come through us. So it's really exciting times.
Right. And Alan, one of the interesting things with your book, Making Contact, which we did a chapter in, is something Debra said, and that is that we're going to be starting to work with, we'll say, a higher super consciousness, because the universe is a non-local reality, and we can tap into without even leaving the planet. I always like to say that when people talk about ascension, I believe that there will be not only ships coming, but also transformations into the light body. But we don't have to wait for that time, because right now our consciousness is really within ourselves advanced enough to be able to tap into those other levels of intelligence. And when we do, we're able to receive information from the universal mind. So I think that's one of the things your book talks about. Just even seeing an extraterrestrial spacecraft gives us that connection to them. We are all interconnected and we're all entangled, and we are starting to realize that.
You're saying is the reason I'm teaching remote viewing. I'm teaching it at the Sedona Ascension Retreats because we are obviously of a non-local mind. I say we are the extraterrestrial. So when we tap into the non-local field, it gives evidence of our divinity, which is where we're moving into the age of divinity. And yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, how does that work? And really, it works this way. You have to go back. I hate to say it, to the Bible. I know some people have, cast the Bible out, but it said we were originally in garments of energy and then took on physical bodies. And so, we've been taught, of course, that we evolve from this planet. And the idea of ascension is we'll finally make it off this planet, maybe going into outer space or whatever. But it's actually that's not a reality. What's a reality is that we are spiritual beings that came down here and really got into this dualistic situation. And now we're graduating back because there's a lot of forces of the heavens that are trying to get us back into our higher nature.
And we're rediscovering under our physical body, we have a light body. And this is the work that Stanford Research Institute scientists did in the 1980s and 90s. And we've been privileged to put this out as Mind Dynamics, a study of the powers of the mind to be non-local. This is an age of scientific miracles where scientists themselves who are atheistic have come into the spiritual understanding of higher consciousness and the gifts that we have now to share without going the way of violence, without going the way of separation, without going the way of what I will call the media circus of a culture of death rather than a culture of life. And so what Debra have done for so many years is to bring about an orientation to a culture of life and light. And we must deeply pray, meditate, and sing every day, because this is going to be the critical mass of changing the minds of young people to go with the light as opposed to go with the dialectic of death. This is so important because AI is on our doorstep, wanting to us, shall we say, see ourselves as robotic beings rather than beings in the image of the Christ or the divine Most High God, or the eye of the great master teachers from all directions who have told us in so many ways we are preparing for a greater life in the creation.
And I just want to say, I always love Tanjila's meditations, but I do recommend, as Dr. Hurtak does, just like she did this earlier in the program, to put your energies of peace, love, no matter where it's needed on the planet. Just send that energy. You may not see the immediate manifestation of it, but it's sending consciousness levels to people there. And it could even be protecting like a small child or whatever. You don't even realize what you're doing by putting your energy there.
I also say we don't have to fear AI because the technology in our body, the software we have yet to tap into, is greater than any machine can ever duplicate. We haven't even understood the application of consciousness. And the fact is that we are already beyond time and space. These are avatars. This is what the great master said. We're living in the illusion. And as the vibrational shift happens, we get to see a bigger view, a bigger plane, the higher dimensions that JJ met when he went up and was greeted by Metatron and Enoch. He was brought to those high levels, and that great view opened up to him, and he he remote viewed the fact that there were pyramids on Mars, and that's in his book, Keys of Enoch, which makes it such a valuable classic. So,
Alan, thank you. But what is so important here is the vibrations that must change. This is why spiritual music and spiritual songs are so important, because higher teaching without the higher vibration will not take us into the fifth dimension. This is what scientists are discovering. Those of the cosmic creation are reaching us through higher vibrations, and therefore we must change really to a higher music frequency. It's like a keyboard. We are down in the lower keys, the lower vibrations of the lower chakras. As we move up the ladder into the fifth dimension, we go into the higher celestial harmonics. And this is why our teaching has been to focus on sacred names of God, sacred expressions of love and wisdom, sacred relationships that take us beyond the dualistic splits of the male and the female side of the human psyche. We must see ascension work with music harmonics if we're going to be successful to reach a planetary society. This is what Carlos Santana is saying. We must teach people through the global tone, because time is very quick. Things are passing very quickly before our eyes. And if we're going to reach critical mass, we must do this also with musical vibrations of our heart, mind, and spirit.
And music is everywhere. We're starting to now listen to find the hum of the universe. This is from scientists. We're doing the SETI program, of course, looking for signals in outer space. But really, every planet, every star is coming out with pulses, just like our body is in resonance with pulses of vibration. Our heart has a certain frequency, our brain, the alpha frequency, for example. When we were in the Great Pyramid, we felt from some of the sounds that we put out there that it actually was reaching even down in undertones to the alpha frequency to give us this calmness. Can you imagine? Actually, the whole planet is emanating from the Schumann wave, these alpha frequencies to try to get us to calm down. I think that's an amazing thing that people don't realize.
All sacred areas have a certain musical vibration. If we can tap into that, we can bring the message of light and unity more quickly to humanity.
And of course, Alan, you're joining us for later on in Egypt.
I just also want to say, bringing a community together, which is what we'll be doing on March 17th to the 19th, of people tuned to this frequency, starts to emanate the field. People like Paul Selig, who talk about the resurrection of the divinity, William Henry, who else has come? Michael Jaco's a great guy. Everyone's talking about it in their own way, and we come together as a synergy effect. It has this evolutionary character of emanating out from the we are. Matt Kahn, when I met Kahn, he said to me, I'm changing the world one I love you at a time. I said, what does that mean, one I love you? And then it hit me. Yes, one I love you at a time. So Suzanne's done a great thing bringing us together. I always enjoy being with the Hurtaks because they are at this frequency of love and purity and higher consciousness. Suzanne, thanks for your work in making this happen. And
thank you, Alan.
I'm going to bring a couple more people on because there's so much going on in the chat box. I mean, it's incredible. I'm going to bring on Connie also because what I see happening from my kind of unique perch doing the Awakening World 3 times a week or more is that we're all coming at it from different points of view. But the more that we hear this, the more that we hear about whether it's JJ's experience or remote viewing, or somebody who's seeing UFOs or having astral projections, the more that we hear from each other about the experiences that we're having that are helping us to really get, we are multidimensional beings. We are part of the one incredible multiverse. It's like the 100th monkey, it's the 4-minute mile. It's how we wake up as a being. And the more that we hear these stories, the more that we connect. But I want to just emphasize to everybody, bring it back to yourself, right? We each have our own unique way of awakening. We each have our own unique path, right? Not everybody's going to have a JJ experience of being lifted up to the gods, right? But we each do have our own unique pathway for awakening. And every single person watching this program, whether you're watching this live or on Facebook or on Alan's YouTube channel or watching the replay or the recording, you're watching this because we're wanting to say, hey, you're waking up too. we're all waking up together. And it's a beautiful, beautiful awakening world that is taking place.
Perfect, Scott. That is a great way of pulling it all together. I appreciate that. So,
Bless you, Scott.
I feel that.
Well, and so we've talked about the retreat. I'm going to put the spotlight on Suzanne because you are the star of the show, my dear. You are who really inspired today's show. We're so excited about the retreat. So tell us, what's it like for you? How many years have you been doing this retreat now?
Thank you for asking, Scott. Yes, this is my 15th event. I moved to Sedona 8 years ago and have put on 2 events a year ever since, every equinox, spring and fall. And so this year we have our biggest event because these events keep growing. And of course, it's the phenomenal people that are featured on the show today who really make it the most powerful event in Sedona. JJ and Desiree, beloved soul teachers, Alan Steinfeld, of course, Debra Giusti, Tanjila. Crista Collins is going to be a speaker ambassador at our event. And so many people who are featured here today are going to be an integral part of this extraordinary 3-day ascension experience. And I feel called to bring together large groups of people like this, where you have spiritual people and truth seekers coming together with some of the top spiritual teachers and truth revealers in the world. And with our collective love light frequency, we not only illuminate one another, but we pour our love light frequency into the ley lines of the earth with our powerful intention to send that ascension frequency around the world. And so this is really the power of having these large gatherings of soul-inspired, heart-centered people who all have an intention, not just to enhance their own lives through ascension, but to enhance the lives of all of humanity and beyond, expanding into our cosmic brothers and sisters who are supporting our ascension. Because as Scott said earlier, it's not just a planetary ascension. This is literally a galactic ascension and likely a universal ascension as well. So we pour our love and light into the ley lines also to tune into our inner earth brothers and sisters, the Atlantean and Lemurian communities in the inner earth, as well as everyone on the surface and expanding into the cosmos. And so this is what inspires me to put on these types of events with such extraordinary people. I always incorporate numerous workshops to appeal to everyone who's coming. So there's a variety of different topics being spoken about in these numerous workshops. Also, because we are in this spiraling vortex of sacred Sedona, a sacred site on planet Earth, we want to get out into the sacred vortex sites. And so we have outdoor journeys, multiple outdoor journeys that go out into the vortex sites. Shuttles come and pick up the attendees and take them to these sites. Some with some of the presenters of the retreat, like Matt Kahn and Michael Jaco, but also we have Sedona spiritual guides from Sedona Mystical Tours who have been guiding these vortex journeys for years in Sedona, guiding these experiences as well. So combining the workshops, the outdoor journeys, with also an alternate ascension stage featuring many beautiful speakers like Kimberly Meredith, Raquel Spring, Vivian Chabot, and many others on the Ascension stage. And then when we have the main theater open for our main keynote speakers, nothing else is happening except that main theater presentations and performances. And so we are very excited to have Matt Kahn, Paul Selig, Billy Carson, Michael Jaco, Maureen St. Germain, Suzanne Wilson, and more. Also performances, because like the Hurtaks were just saying, it's necessary to create this high vibrational frequency through harmonic sound. So we have sound journey throughout the performances and presentations, performed by Jade Lyons and John Dumas, award-winning Hemisync music artists.
Wow.
So we're very excited, Scott, and I'm glad that you're going to be joining us for this event as well, and very much appreciate being on your show today.
Absolutely. And again, you can get all the details, everybody, by going to Sedona Ascension Retreats, that's plural, Sedona Ascension Retreats.com. And that's where you're going to get all the details. And it is really amazing, everything that she's put together. And look at all these wonderful people that are regulars on our shows. Just in the last few weeks, we've had Kimberly and Vivian and Joan and Raquel. These have all, Melissa, they've all been on our show in the last few weeks. And of course, Matt Kahn has been on the show many times. And it's just going to be a really wonderful time. And I think, as Alan said, when we all come together, it's just our consciousness raises. And it's one more way to raise consciousness. Now, I also want to acknowledge, Suzanne, that of course, not everybody can make it to Sedona. Now, hopefully some of our people are going to feel so inspired that they are going to make it there. But what I always try to do is bring these retreats out to the people who can't make it through the Awakening World. Just like 2 weeks ago, we brought the Conscious Life Expo out to the people. So I will be broadcasting from your event and from Sedona, and we'll make sure that some of the amazing people, you'll get a chance to see them on the Awakening World. But if you can make it to
we have live streaming. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The whole event is live stream. Bless you, Scott, for bringing that up. Our friend Neil Gar will be live streaming the event. And so you can go to the tickets page of the site and purchase a live stream pass. And so if you can't join us, you can still be part of our event by tuning into it live.
So there you go. You go to tickets, and that's where you can see your options: general admission, outdoor journeys, the interactive workshops, or you can do the live stream right there where it says live Zoom. So there's a lot of options. We're really continuing to find wonderful ways to make it available for everybody. Absolutely. And we talked about sacred sound, and that's why I do have Omashar. It was such a blessing to have this high vibration man playing music at every single one of our shows. And then, of course, we have other musical artists as well. But Omashar has become such an incredibly important part of our show. And we're going to have one more Omashar song in a moment, Suzanne, but I'm going to go up to our mutual friend, Crista. And Crista is a co-host frequently on The Awakening World. She also has her new name she's going by, Mo'orea. Now,
You froze for a moment, Scott.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we just lost sound, but I can hear you now.
Oh, good. So introducing you, and I know in a moment you can tell us what's been going on in the chat box. Thank you for monitoring it. But before you do that, share with us about the name that you are now embodying, so we can hold that vision for you.
Okay, thank you, Scott. And what a beautiful show. I've just been in my heart this whole time, and actually just had some emotions come through when the Hurtaks were just speaking, because we're really all finding each other here. And Scott, the way that you have brought this show together and the way that you and Debra have really brought that forward starting during the pandemic, before I even met many of you, just put us all on this path of finding each other again. And that's so beautiful. So Mo'orea is a name that I was given by Spirit when I was in Sedona almost 2 years ago. Of course, when you visit Sedona, many people go by spiritual names. So I was at a retreat at the time, and I just said to Spirit in a meditation, what's my spiritual name? And Mo'orea is what I had received. And I had visited Mo'orea, which is the name of a Tahitian island in the South Pacific. And I knew that I've had many lifetimes, or at least, I know that I've had not many, but multiple lifetimes in that part of the world. And of course, I believe that Mo'orea actually means yellow lizard if you look at the incredible folklore of that name. But for me, when I asked Spirit, what does that mean for me? It was really the simplicity of that I'm here, the bringer of more light. And they just showed me more ray, which of course is light. So it's the bringer of more light. And it's beautiful to embody that. It's been also, I think, a challenge sometimes to consider a name change and what does that mean. But the more I am on this journey of ascension, I'm being called to embody her. So thank you for acknowledging that, Scott, and welcoming me to share. And I welcome anyone to embody, their spiritual name too. And if they wonder what it is, just ask, because Spirit always has an answer when we ask. And I also wanted just to say, the way that this show started with Tanjila and Omashar, when we all just dropped into our hearts so quickly and so easily, even if I'm in the middle of something else, it's just amazing that when we practice this work and we come back together over and over and over again, how fast we can just get into that heart coherence with each other. And Debra, I was just reflecting when you were sharing about the book that you've created. And, my spiritual journey started when I was a child, when I started to know that I was a psychic, and of course later learned that I was a medium as well. But it wasn't until 2012 when I left Minnesota and I moved to Palm Springs that things really started happening. And I wasn't even tuned into, the 12-12-12 and what that meant. But right around that time is when my spiritual awakening really started to happen. So over 10 years ago now. And Debra, had that book been available then, how much it could have helped me. And so I think that those of us who've been on this journey a little while, and I know many of you much longer than 10 years, we've had to kind of piece these things together. And Debra, now that so many people are awakening to have this tool, this is a tool that I'm going to share with my clients and friends. So thank you for this contribution to Ascension, because you make it so simple and easy to understand. And as I'm reading it, I'm realizing, oh, this is the way that it happened for me, or then I had this understanding or realization. And there's still beautiful tools, even for those of us who are on this journey and have been on it for a while, that can utilize what you brought together. So thank you.
You're so welcome. And I appreciate you sharing it, because that's really what it's meant to do, is to help others that are awakening now. And it will continue to evolve. So I'd love your feedback on it as well, because this is really a co-creation that we can all share with each other.
Yeah, I think all of us on this journey should be sharing this with all of our friends, our communities, to get this word out, because we don't need to recreate what you just did. It's just incredible, and it makes it so simple for people to understand. So yes, so there's so much happening in the chat, and I'm so excited also for those of you who are all going to be speaking at the Sedona Ascension Retreat, bringing your wisdom, your experience to humanity. And the fact that, Suzanne, you're live streaming this, it really makes it available to the whole world. And so we thank you for your service too. Wow, 15 years is just such a huge contribution to the ascension on this planet. And so it's just amazing that it continues to rise. And I'm so glad to be part of this beautiful, beautiful experience that you're creating this year. And, in the chat, Scott, there's been so many beautiful comments, and maybe some of you are following along, but, Connie was sharing, when the Hurtaks were sharing, that she's seen the big pictures too, and she's seen it decades ago. And it's so fun now to see that it's all happening. And she said, I didn't even know I would be part of it. It's just so fun. And you love us all. So thank you, Connie. And it's been so fun to get to know you and Andrew through the Global Peace Tribe. And wow, the wisdom that both of you embody and bring and just have held for all these years is so incredible. And it was so fun during the Conscious Life Expo to hear that your daughter and I have a that's very close as well. So beautiful. I know there's a connection there that we'll explore
Their
more.
trust frequency work and about the
Mhm.
assumptions.
Yeah.
Once I really dropped in and comprehended it, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And that's why I keep promoting it over and over and over on this show. And we're going to be going deeper into it at the LA retreat coming up as well.
Mhm.
So anyway, we love you, Connie. Thank you.
Yeah, we can't wait for that retreat either, Scott. I can't wait for everyone to come back together and just to have continued opportunities and experiences. And I wanted to share something too. I mean, a few people had shared different things, that we can dance to help hold this vibration. And, George was saying, he's found in every spiritual tradition and he studied and practiced, over many, many years. And, and what was described within the Keys of Enoch, the landmark book, and a description of JJ's galactic journey and revelation. So thank you for that, George, and for your insight to that. And whenever a person plays helpless because of the ways of our computer systems, he also shared that, I challenge them with the news of transhumanism agenda, asking for their improved personal service and responsiveness, not less. So that's it. We're here to come from the heart. And I'm just seeing that in all of these beautiful attendees here today and those who are so loyal to this tribe. And Susan sharing, it's so important to show examples of humility and caring to young people right now. And we know that mental illness is so prevalent in our teens. So that's why, we need to be here to be that example and just to show love and compassion and all of that neutrality for people's journeys and where they're at. So we can just continue to be that example for sure. And Maureen was sharing inner resonance technology, shared a link for that. So thank you for that. And Aida, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Sending consciousness, knowing it will be received somewhere. I mean, even the other day, I was watching some explosions happening in Ukraine, and I thought, how is this even possible? And just at that moment, I just sent love to that place, not knowing where it would land, but just knowing that we needed to, that I could do that in that moment. And that's how powerful we are. So Scott, I will turn it back to you. Thank you everyone for your contributions, whether you're speaking here today or you're an attendee or a member of the Global Peace Tribe. All of your hearts matter. And that's what's so powerful about us coming together. And Scott, you doing this 3 times a week really gives us so many opportunities to stay in this heart coherence with each other.
Oh, thank you. Connie just wrote in the chat box her appreciation for the next generation of luminaries. And there you both are, Tanjila and Crista Mo'orea. You really are wonderful examples of the next generation of new thought leaders and luminaries. And I'm grateful to have you part of our Global Peace Tribe and for all of your contributions. And thank you, Mo'orea, for going through and just kind of highlighting some of what was been going on in the chat box. And again, for those of you watching on Facebook, this is why you want to join the Global Peace Tribe, because there's like everything you're seeing on camera, and then there's all that's going on in the chat box. And in the chat box, there's links being shared and people making friendships and people getting engaged and making babies. Well, maybe not quite that, but a lot goes on in the chat box. That's all. I'll just leave it at that. So come on in, join the Global Peace Tribe. It's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. And Mo'orea, always you bring so much.
Thank you so much, Scott. I think it just froze for a second there.
Well, I was just saying what a bringer of light you are. And yeah, my internet is a little unstable today. I'm going to turn it over to Tanjila to share a little bit from her vantage point and a little bit about her relationship to the Sedona retreat.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Scott. And it's just been so amazing being here with all of our incredible Ascension teachers and guides and our beautiful Global Peace Tribe community, and also everyone who's tuning in on Facebook and YouTube or catching the replay. Scott, Debra, again, just always wanting to acknowledge and honor you both for creating this community of consciousness that we have here together. And Suzanne, who's building this energy that she's been creating, that her 15th event. So creating this conscious community event where we're all coming together to experience the energies of ascension. This is not some theoretical thing that we're talking about. This is a spiritual experience that we're all actually sharing and co-creating together. And, whether it's coming together online or in person, it brings us more powerfully into that co-creation. And I think that's what's so powerful with what Suzanne has been creating with the Sedona Ascension Retreats. And I'm just so excited about it because, as you could see, just from hearing our amazing speakers here today, Suzanne, Alan, Dr. Desiree and JJ Hurtak, Debra, there's such a power. But, the power that's being created is actually even beyond the words being spoken. It's that energetic resonance that is happening that we are then, creating together. And as Suzanne mentioned, we're doing this grid work. It is actually going into the ley lines, and by doing this grid work powerfully in and from Sedona, this energy is reverberating out there. So I'm just really grateful and excited for this event that Suzanne has created. It's going to be so powerful with so many amazing speakers, including Paul Selig, George Norrie, Matt Kahn, Billy Carson, Kimberly Meredith, incredible speakers, all in the Sedona energies in the vortex. So I'm excited to be there, be a part of this, really inviting everyone who can come to join us live. I saw in the chat, we have a couple of people looking for roommates, so that's amazing. And, we really invite anyone else joining in who can't be there in person to join in by live stream. And I've actually been posting in the chat. And for those of you who are tuning in by YouTube and Facebook, we have some incredible previews of the Sedona Ascension Retreat. We have a really inspiring conversation with Suzanne, Doctors JJ and Desiree Hurtak, and Alan Steinfeld on what is Ascension, where are we going, what does this mean for us? You can catch it on the Soul Search YouTube channel. It's an incredible conversation. Very high level, just really connecting us to our cosmic consciousness. And then we also have an incredible panel with Suzanne Ross, Debra Giusti, Vivian Chabet, and Maureen St. Germain, again, talking about ascension and also giving practical tools and tips on how we can continue to be in that ascension consciousness. I think one of my favorite tips that Maureen gave, she said, it was very simple. She was like, when you go to bed, just say, I am waking up in 5D consciousness. And then when you wake up in the morning, just be like, I'm in 5D consciousness. So just that little reminder. And then again, connecting that consciousness out into the world, because as we've been talking about the whole day, like we're all doing this together, and bringing that out into the world with that intentionality brings it together even more powerfully. So Suzanne, I just want to thank you for an amazing event. So excited to be there and be a part of it. And also just really inviting everyone to join. You can watch the previews on YouTube. I put the links in the chat. If you can't see the links, this is why you guys should join Global Peace Tribe, so you can catch all the amazing links that are being put in the Zoom room. But you can go to the Soul Search YouTube channel and check out the Sedona Ascension Retreat specials there. Really just tap in with these powerful teachers, and then come live and join us live in Sedona, or join us on the live stream.
Thank you so much, Tanjila. I so appreciate all of your beautiful support and all of your enthusiasm. I wanted to just mention too that on the homepage of the website, we have over a dozen videos featuring the wonderful people who are going to be on our stage. So please tune into those on the homepage as well.
Beautiful. And there it is. I've pulled it up, the homepage of Sedona Ascension Retreats.com. Sedona Ascension Retreats.com. That's where you can learn all about the amazing things going on, all the beautiful people that are going to be there, all the activities, all the events. You can live stream it, or of course, come be with all of us in person if at all possible. We'll go out to some vortexes together. I also really want to just do a quick shout out for Soul Search. Tanjila is absolutely tireless, and she did a psychic fair in San Rafael yesterday. She's going to be participating and collaborating with me on the next LA Global Peace Tribe Retreat. She's constantly just growing. She's brought so many of our favorite new people into the awakening, people like Crista Mo'orea. So If you haven't joined Soul Search yet, please do so like right now. Go to soulsearch.io, soulsearch.io, and join. And that's where you're going to find all the amazing presenters. They're right there at the very top. There's Crista Mo'orea, and Laura Quirk and Lisa McCardle. Lisa's coming to a little party that we're having here this afternoon. And you can get so much information, astrology. Of course, our beloved Raquel, who's also coming to my party this afternoon. So there's just a beautiful tribe and family. And Tanjila is a big part of really creating this ever expanding community, bringing in younger people, people of color, people from different cultures and races. Tanjila, thank you.
Thanks so much, Scott. And yes, yeah, definitely would love to invite all of you guys who are part of our community or not yet a part of community to come in and join. We actually have a free 20-day challenge starting on March 1st, a Journey of the Soul challenge, where every day we're going to be sharing a practice that we can do together. It's going to include gratitude walk, dream journaling, just a different practice to explore your soul and connect with your soul more deeply. And we're going to be doing this together over a 20-day period. And we're sharing this because so many members of our community are like, well, what should I do? What practice is going to work for me? How can I connect more deeply? And, actually, there's such a diversity of practices out there. There's so many modalities, and for everyone, it's different. And we wanted to have the opportunity where together we can be diving in, we can be sharing a practice, and then sharing our experiences. And from there, people can, move into what works for them. We're moving beyond the rigidity of feeling like we have to do one thing in one way, and really, relaxing into the creativity and the diversity of who we are as human beings in our earth suits. So, really inviting all of you guys to join our community. It's from the Soul Search homepage. You can just click on community, and we have our 20-day challenge starting on March 1st. So just invite all of you guys to be a part of that, and also to just continue connecting with us. Like Scott mentioned, we're just constantly focused on creating and bringing in more community, more diversity. We had an amazing event live yesterday in San Rafael. Tons and tons of new people coming in and saying, this is my first event like this, and really being able to experience consciousness at a different level. Scott and Alan were actually part of an integrator summit we had last weekend with incredible young, diverse teachers, new teachers to the community. That was really exciting, Scott, as well. And we're going to continue doing that.
Beautiful. Well, one more thing while I've got Tanjila here. If you haven't already, please plan on coming to Los Angeles the last week of March. Again, on Tuesday night, March 28th, or Tuesday afternoon, really, March 28th, that's when it all begins with this incredible 12-hour event at the Wisdom in downtown LA with Pato and Antoinette, who we had on the show last night, Kristen Hoffman live, actually there, right there with us. Amazing music. Omashar is going to be there playing music. I see Maureen Edwardson is with us. She's going to be joining us in LA. And so that starts on Tuesday. Wednesday, we go out to Pato and Antoinette's land by day, and then a big sunset ceremony with Shri and Kira
by night.
Working with Shri and Kira and their shaman that they've brought up. Amazing musical artists, music and dancing and coming together. And then we all wrap it up with an amazing psychic fair that Tanjila is putting us together. Now tell us about the psychic fair that's going to happen on Sunday, April 2nd.
Sure. We're excited about it because it's just the culmination of a really magical week of events happening in LA, where we're all going to be converging together, celebrating, connecting. And Sunday, we'll be having a wonderful psychic and healing fair at the LAX Hilton all day, April 2nd, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is the same venue where we just had the Conscious Life Expo. So you'll be able to see a lot of your favorite teachers, guides who were at Conscious Life Expo. They're all coming back for this show. It's a one-day show because we really want to make it accessible. Crista will definitely be there, Scott, of course, but we want to make it accessible. Suzanne's been a part of our show in Scottsdale, Debra just yesterday in San Rafael, and we make these one-day shows really accessible for everyone because we are just bringing in the whole community, like all of the new people, everyone who's just wanting to explore, because you never know what is going to support cracking open one's consciousness. And so we're going to have incredible healers, teachers, practitioners, guides, talks. So really, if you guys are going to be in the LA area, come to the retreat and come for the psychic fair. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so we're looking forward to seeing all of you there.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tanjila. I'm going to bring up all of our other presenters that are still with us. There's Debra Giusti, there's Crista Mo'orea, there's Suzanne Ross, there's our beloved Omashar. JJ and Desiree are now actually teaching their workshop, and I think Alan also took off. But I want to thank all of you for your amazing contributions to our awakening world. Everybody playing their part in such a wonderful way. And next week, all of you are, I know, close to Neil Gar. We're collaborating next week on Saturday night. Our show is all about Portal to Ascension and some of the events that he's doing with, I know you're all kind of connected to it. We're going to have Louisa Stowe playing music. We're going to have Geraldine Orozco and some other amazing people that are all part of the Portal to Ascension world joining us. So that's going to be next Saturday night. And we just continue to bring wonderful, beautiful shows. And now the best part of every show, Omashar leading us in a closing musical moment.
Yeah, I like that you said it's the best part of every show. I think that every single succulent moment of these shows is the best part, but this is the now moment. And I was just feeling, because when you were saying earlier about we all listen to all these different perspectives and we put all this new information together and we all have our puzzle pieces, how glad I am that I only have to play the music, because the eloquence comes from all these amazing speakers. And so let's all just take this moment to breathe into our heart, thank everything that's happened today. And I just have to comment on Tanjila. I love Saturn on your dress. You have stars and Saturn on your dress. I just noticed at the end there, starry dress. Anyway, sorry, fixating on you today. This is called Breathe Me In. So let's breathe it in into our center where it all began, where it is now re-emerging. And so here I go. When there's nowhere left to turn, and you're feeling kind of low, slow down, and breathe me in. Deep breath. When you're feeling out of touch, and you need someone to hold, slow down, and breathe me in. Slow down, and breathe me in.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's all twinkle, beloved Omashar.
Twinkle.
Thank you so much, my friend.
My pleasure always.
It's been an amazing weekend. Last night's show and today's show, just so many people that I love, each and every one of you watching. And I will get up finally the website and details about the LA Global Peace Tribe Retreat. So remember, you want to come to Sedona first, come to the Sedona Ascension Retreat. That's going to be amazing. And again, that's going to be taking place from March 17th to the 19th. March 17th to 19th. Come meet me here in Sedona. Next week, you'll learn about a big event happening in San Diego with Portal to Ascension. Several of your favorite people that you've seen here tonight are going to be a part of as well. So more opportunities to come together in person. But if you can't be with us in person, that's why we have the Awakening World and other live stream opportunities so that you can be part of it. We are inclusive. Everyone is welcome, especially you and you and you and you, and yes, you too. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. I will see you on Wednesday night. This Wednesday night, we've got another wonderful show. We're going to go deeper into understanding more about plant medicine and microdosing with two more experts on that field. So it's going to be Wednesday night. Saturday night, as I say, Portal to Ascension and some amazing presenters. And then a very special Sacred Sunday show, which I'll tell you about when you are part of our Zoom subscription service. Then you get to receive the posters to tell you what's going to be happening. So subscribe now. We are opening up our registration. If you have not registered for the season, do it now. You're going to get the links for the next 4 months. And for those of you that are subscribed to this season, we're now accepting registration for next season, the next 3 months, April 1st through June 30th. So we're growing, we're expanding. Thank you for your support. Share this with your friends. Share these shows with your friends, okay? Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next week. Got to go to gallery view for one more time to twinkle and say goodbye, everybody.